No, and two, another thing that I'm thinking about, all these relationships. He was talking about 5 relationships today, And it seems like to me one of the hardest things in relationships nowadays is there's just such pressure on all of us at home, at work, and we're just so overloaded. I think of, this is kind of odd how this might tie in, but Christmas Vacation, that movie, right. Christmas Vacation. Okay, and you remember that outlet that there was like 500 plugs going into? I think we feel like that outlet sometime, to where, we've got to start getting rid of some of those things or we're going to blow. Do you guys see that in your practice and just working, whether it's with a 10-year-old or adults, that there's just so much on us right now, it's hard to function?
Yeah, I think with kids too, there's so much activity that they're trying to get in and trying to achieve and trying to meet someone's expectation of them. Right. And they never stop to think, is this my desire? Is this my purpose in life? Is this where I've been blessed? And I remember, I think it was Max Lucado who wrote the book about changing our lives, or the cure for a common life. And he talked about, as parents, we have to sort of help our kids unpack what it is they've been blessed with. We didn't bless them with the gifts, right? And John Mark talked about cargo, right? So they were blessed by God and given these blessings, and our job is to help facilitate that. Let's recognize them and let's be the person that God intended us to be.
Right.
So versus our agenda as parents. So a lot of times when I'm working with parents in a counseling session, I'm sensing their expectation is what's driving. They've got the dominant energy and they're using that and they're driving the show, and there's a kiddo who goes, I'm not understood here.
Yeah. And they're talking about how their kid is stressed out and anxious, when in reality they're even more stressed out and anxious than their child.
Yeah.
Yes. So we would say we're an interconnected people, whether we like it or not.
Right.
So each affects the other. I mean, one of the big tenets of family therapy in general is the idea that the family has an idea that this person is the main problem in the family. They're the presenting client. But as a family therapist, you're always saying, but they're not actually the main problem. It's all this interconnected energy and the way people are relating all together that is actually causing the issues. And we all each have to work out to figure out how to make this system work.
Right.
Right. And so I think the great thing about looking at relationships is that we are all in relationships, we're all interconnected, and we all know what it's like to be in a relationship that's not working. Whether that's with a friend, a neighbor, a boss, a child, a spouse, we all know what it's like to be in a relationship with someone where it's just not working anymore. There's pain, there's tension, there's dysfunction in communication and conflict, and we all want that to change. And we ask how? How are we going to change this? It's gone on for so long, or we're caught in this cycle and we can't break it, and it's hard to know how to move forward, and I feel a little lost, and I feel a little hopeless. So I think as counselors, oftentimes, that's why people are coming to see us, is because they've kind of lost the thread of even knowing where to begin.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Yeah.
And I think the most encouraging thing is that they can be the change.
Yeah.
You talked about the mature one, please stand up and you get started. But really, each of us has that ability to step up and be the change. And then hopefully someone will respond to that change. But again, that's not a given and we can't expect it. But, it gives the people a lot of freedom to know that, hey, I can do some things here.
It's
and
not
I can make
hopeless.
some change, whether that's with my parents or whether that's with my friends at school or in the community at large. I mean, we have to be the change. I think John Mark was talking about first being the one who, if you're a Christian, it's not a secret. It should be obvious to those in your family. It should be obvious to those in your neighborhood, your friends. It shouldn't be something you keep lock and key where nobody really sees it. So it's a behavioral thing, not just a mindset.
Right.